Ladies and gentlemen, it is your boy, Deluxe Man. Welcome to another live broadcast here on YouTube. We are here to talk about some wrestling, and today we got a special ranking video for you. Top 25 dream matches. Well, to be specific, my dream matches over the last 3 years in wrestling. So, quick update for those who are late to the party. Yes, I am back on YouTube. We'll go through the story in just a second. But as always, if this is the first time you're watching me and you want more, you like what I have to say, don't be a stranger. Come on in, subscribe, and like the video while you're at it. If you want to help expand the brand of your boy Deluxe Man, you can do a couple of things. You can like me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter at DeluxeManBX1. You can donate using PayPal, Patreon, or Super Chat. Also, I have a Twitch. It's not on this advertisement. We'll fix that later. But be sure to give me a follow on Twitch for live reactions. If you have a business inquiry of mine, or you just want to say hi, ask me a question, email me at justalexsworld@gmail.com. Try that again, justalexsworld@gmail.com. But most importantly, if you want to help really get the brand out there, you can buy yourself a Deluxe Man t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees. And usually during this time I do roll call. My cell phone's been acting crazy, guys. And for some reason it's not turning on. So if you're in the live chat, just know I love you. And I appreciate you for being here. I'm pretty sure I can guess the usuals. I'm assuming Aaron Sherwood's there, Ultra Shadow, Elias, Bryson Mixtape 99, oh my goodness, M-Tube, we got Brandon Kambambia, the usuals, the Big Dog. Again, I'm just assuming you're here, because you guys are usually checking me out. You got Jake Salig, you got AJ Envoy, oh my goodness, Rory Kitty, can't forget about that name. Oh my goodness, who are the other ones? Firestar Hart, can't forget about him. Oh, I'm gonna forget somebody and somebody's gonna be pissed. Oh my goodness. Anthony Ace. Spinosaurus, who's always donating. Who else donates a lot? Oh my goodness. Oh goodness, I feel bad. I feel so bad that I can't give you guys a real life roll call. I promise you, tell you what, this is gonna be a long video. By the time this is done, I will turn on my phone. It should be charged, and I will do a roll call. So we'll move the roll call to the end of the podcast instead of doing it at the beginning. So those of you watching, I appreciate you for making me a part of your day, or in this case, your night. So with that said, let's get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my top 25 dream matches that I've seen over the last 3 years in terms of wrestling. And we're ranking them from most disappointing to classic. Top rated classic. By the way, my list is not the end all be all. This is not the permanent absolute list. This is my list. If you have a different list, go for it. Matter of fact, I challenge you, the viewer, in the comment section right now or in the live chat, name me 2 matches. One match is the most disappointing dream match ever. As in, a match you're looking forward to, you looked forward to for a long, long time, you got it, and it just didn't live up to the hype. And then the opposite of that is a match that you were looking forward to, you got it, and it was everything you can ask for. It was better than sex. So give me those 2 matches. Most satisfying and most disappointing in the comments while this is going on. So, let's get right to it. Number 25, we're not wasting any time. This is a recent match. I dare say it's 2 decades in the making. Probably longer than that. It happened this year. It happened weeks ago. I think you already know where it is. Number 25 on my list is Goldberg versus The Undertaker. Gave it a rating of D-. Not an F, because I remember the first few minutes being pretty cool, and then it just died. It died a horrible death. D- is a fair grade, because this match was awful. This match sucked. And some people, see, people like Solid Monster and other wrestling personalities like Stevie Richards, who has a YouTube channel, by the way. Yes, Stevie Richards has an actual freaking YouTube channel, believe it or not. They come out and say that their age has nothing to do with it. Maybe the match would have gone better if they didn't botch a few spots, if Goldberg didn't get a concussion, hitting his head on the door or on the turnbuckle. Listen, you can say whatever you want. Quite frankly, I personally don't think these two should have even been in that ring to begin with at this age, at this point in time. I personally think at the peak of their careers, botches like that would not have happened. The fact that as the match went on, they got slower and a lot more tired and a lot more groggy, that's a result of age. Okay? Now, you could argue that the match could have been booked better. Again, if they would have hit their spots the right way, we would probably be saying it's not a bad match. Maybe, blah, 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 it could have been better. The reality is, it wasn't. That's the reality. Wake up. The match was horrible. It was awful. This is not me saying that Undertaker and Goldberg's careers are dead in the water. Personally, I think it's time for both of them to call it a day, but this doesn't hurt their careers. But it is what it is. It is a blemish. It is a blemish on their records. It is. It's not really a match that I think they want to be known for, but guess what? They are. And that's the reality of the situation. That's where we are, and I'm sorry. Well, I'm not too sorry about it. I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, that this is number 25 on my list. You can take it how you want it. That's the reality of the situation. Moving on to number 24. Now, number 24, it makes me sad. It makes me really sad because, how do I put this? Let's just call it like it is. Braun Strowman got screwed. Just saying. Braun Strowman was one of the only talents that WWE created. One of the talents that WWE created, ladies and gentlemen, that I believe fans got behind naturally. Because usually, the people that the fans love come from outside the company, a la CM Punk, a la Daniel Bryan, a la AJ Styles, the ones who made a name for themselves. WWE can't create stars nowadays. They suck at it. The current brand, the current company that stands before us in 2019 is incapable of creating stars. Then someone like Braun Strowman comes along, and he gets over naturally by being who he is. The way they book him, they make him an unstoppable monster. And we actually got to a point where fans wanted to see him be Universal Champion. Fans wanted to see him beat Brock Lesnar. And I can remember the match last year. I was excited for this match. And it just didn't deliver. I'm talking about Braun Strowman versus Brock Lesnar. No Mercy 2017. 1F5. 1F5 and he's done. This is the same man that would lift ambulances, just easily tear apart cars, could pull down scaffolds, can probably lift a freaking house. That's basically what I see him doing. Can win the tag team titles by himself, technically. Nicholas was a factor, I suppose, but you made him such an unstoppable monster. For him to lose to 1F5, oh my goodness. It's so dumb. And don't get me started on the Crown Jewel rematch. Yes, I know they had a rematch at Crown Jewel the very next year. I don't understand it. I don't get WWE. I don't quite understand at all what's the freaking point of half the things they do anymore. I don't. I just... You want fans to respect you as a company. You want fans to get out of this mentality that, there are people in the company that can be just as good as these indie darlings that you have. Braun Strowman was the guy to do that. He was the guy that we like. And instead of pushing him to the moon, we kept shoving Roman Reigns down our throats. And as a result, he got pushed to the wayside. Congratulations. Congratulations. This match was... like, it was the very definition of average. Their first match at No Mercy. It was just an average big man match. And that was extremely disappointing. 1 F5, and he's gone. I guess I should be okay that it took 7 F5s to put him away at Crown Jewel, right? Idiots. Number 23. This one... can't lie. I felt in 2017, during this time, this was going to be a match of the year candidate. I was excited about it. I was hyped for the push of Samoa Joe. I said, this is it. They're going with them. They're giving him the ball, and he's going to take it and run with it, and they're going to have no choice but to make him the man. I said, they're gonna ride this Samoa Joe train all the way to the top. This is it. And they're going to have him go into Great Balls of Fire and do the unthinkable and beat Brock Lesnar. And yeah, Great Balls of Fire. Remember that? Remember that show? I unfortunately do. Unfortunately, instead of getting a straight up fight, instead of getting the kind of match that I thought these two should have had, which was Monsters Godzilla versus King Kong. That's the kind of match I was hoping for. And instead, like Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar, I got an average match, which makes this number 23 on my list. Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar at Great Balls of Fire. I did a reaction to this. I did a legit reaction to this match. And I was left going, that didn't live up to the hype. Like most things WWE do. That just seems to be WWE's MO. Just disappointing everybody and everything in their wake. Well, can't win them all, I suppose, right? But it's just one of those things where, as I think about it, even now in 2019, yeah, I get it. Samoa Joe is not a company-made man, but why would you not go with him? He is everything you could want. He's a big man. He cuts great promos, great inside the ring. He checks off all the boxes, and I don't understand how we have not made this guy a main event player. I mean, we tried to in 2018 when he did that feud with AJ Styles, but you gave him a taste, and then we pushed him back down to the mid-cards, and now he's competing for U.S. championships. Because, who knows? God knows what's going on.
Most disappointing, Cena versus Rock. Both of them really bad build to two forgettable matches.
I kinda liked their WrestleMania 28 match. That, was it the classic I was hoping it would be? No. But, I personally believe, this is just my opinion, that the match was good. Now, their match next year, Twice in a Lifetime, was the other shits. That match sucked. That was a bad match. Because it was literally the same match. And then it was sloppy. And both of them were clearly not in the best place to be having any match with each other. That was garbage compared to their match at WrestleMania 28. But, again, we all have our own tastes and preferences. I completely understand why that didn't make you happy, personally. I liked the first one. I didn't like the second one. But yeah, getting back to my list. Number 22. This one? Matt Hardy. Broken, woken Matt Hardy was one of those characters I felt if he goes to WWE, they won't use him right. I kind of told myself that. Because what made Woken Matt Hardy, I can't keep mixing this up. Broken Matt Hardy special was that Matt Hardy had full creative control. When he was doing it in Impact or when he was doing it in ROH, everything that he did was him. He had full creative control. They were allowing him to do whatever he wanted, however he wanted. And it made the character special because of that. The moment he got to WWE, I knew he wasn't going to have that. And he didn't. He had it for like a short period of time, and then it just went away. So, when this feud was happening, Woken Matt Hardy taking on Bray Wyatt, there was a side of me that was like, maybe we can make this work. And then we did the Ultimate Deletion. I'm thinking, oh yeah, there it is. Ultimate Deletion. That's gonna turn things around. This is where we finally get the best of both worlds. We get creepy Bray Wyatt and all his buzzards and all his powers and Sister Abigail meeting with wonderful the wokenness of Matthew Hardy and his Hardy come down, the levitated boat, and the Maxwell, King Maxwell, and Senor Benjamin. It's all gonna be great, and it just ended up being alright. It was alright. Nobody really talked about it after that. It happened. I'm happy it happened, but when it was done, it was like, okay. Yeah, that was it. Yep. Matt Hardy, broken Matt Hardy, woken Matt Hardy in WWE ultimately just turned into a flop. Because that's what happens when you give creative control over to somebody who doesn't give a damn. Vince. I'm pretty sure Matt regrets that decision, which is why we don't really see woken Matt Hardy anymore now, do we? Unfortunately, don't expect to see him. I don't expect to see him anytime soon. As long as he's under Vince McMahon's control. That's what happens when you let someone out of touch run your company. Regardless, not the worst match on the list, but very low. It's disappointing when I look back at what could have been for broken Matt Hardy and what we got. But moving on to number 21. 21! Oh boy! Oh boy, here we go. Here we go. So remember at WrestleMania 34, that one, hold on, let me make sure this is the match that I'm talking about. Yeah, so that one match that we all thought, man, that's gonna be our WrestleMania classic. That's gonna steal the show. That's gonna be one of the matches we compare to Randy Savage and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. We're gonna compare that match to The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, to Edge and Mick Foley, to Ultimate Warrior and Randy Savage, and Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan, and the Bret Harts and Shawn Michaels, and the Undertakers, and blah 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 blah. What the hell were we thinking? Because when it came down to it, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura at WrestleMania 34 flopped. It was a good match. We all expected it to be a classic. Man, did that disappointment hurt. Now, ultimately, and this is the picture of the Money in the Bank match, they would go on to have better matches. I think their Money in the Bank match, amazing match. Definitely their best one. But the dream match was the first match at WrestleMania. The Money in the Bank match wasn't the dream match. That was the apology for what we thought was the dream match. The dream match was at WrestleMania 34. And man, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to make a good match feel like a disappointment. You get what I'm saying? Now, I know most of you are probably like, whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. But let me tell y'all something. The disappointment on my face when I was watching that match, it can't be duplicated, man. I was crushed. The fact that I could name 3 matches right now from that show that surpassed this. 2 of them are women. 2 of them are on this actual list. The fact that I can do that hurts my soul. It hurts my soul. But it is what it is. We look at our mistakes, we acknowledge them, and we move on. I had the utmost hype for this match. I was super hyped for it. I was expecting Wrestle Kingdom levels of greatness, and we got none of that. We just got a good match. It was a good match. We see good matches literally every single week. To the point where a good match is just average now. We get good matches on NXT every single week. 205 Live has good matches every single week. And unfortunately, for AJ and Shinsuke, who did their best to make this work, and that heel turn at the end of the match was awesome, just having a good match in 2018, especially 2019, is just not good enough. Which is why it's number 21 on my list. But that's just... we got a lot more to talk about. Let's move on to number 20. So number 20 on my list involves a tag team. Now, these 2 tag teams, one of them arguably was the best tag team on SmackDown. Then they got moved to Raw. The other was arguably the best tag team on NXT. And then they got moved to Raw. And what could have been, in my opinion, a feud that could change the face of tag team wrestling just ended up being what you would call a kickoff, undercard waste of time. That, my friends, is the feud between the Usos and the Revival. Now, their first match on the, forgot what episode of Raw it was. I have it here on the list. It was May 20th, 2019. I went back and watched that match on YouTube, on the internet, because I didn't watch it live. I will say, in a vacuum, it's a good match. Just a good match. We gotta remember something, guys. Good matches nowadays, it's almost like you breathing air. There's so many awesome talents in the wrestling business. Just having good matches isn't gonna cut it anymore. You gotta have more than just a good match. They had a good match on Raw. Unfortunately, it was covered in swamp crap with this stupid ass storyline with the Usos embarrassing the Revival, manscaping, shaving their backs, and then Usi hot. By the time they got to the match, I didn't care. The build up to this match just made me not even give a goddamn about it. And instead of making this a match that has a strong feud, making it all about who's the best tag team, which is all it needed to be. Perhaps put the championship involved, put the championship on the line, get that involved in the picture. No, none of that at all. No, none of that, ladies and gentlemen. We got Usi hot, and we got manscaping. Here's your match. Get the hell out of here. That hurts. It hurts to even just think about what this could have been and what we got. Thanks, WWE. Oh, I'm pretty sure they'll have a good match sometime in the future, but the bloom's off the rose. It was a dream match. The first match happened, and now it's gone. So thanks for that. The hate WWE's current product now. It just really makes me sick. Oh boy. I'm about to piss some of y'all off with this next one. Number 19. Number 19. So, remember at Royal Rumble when Brock Lesnar was defending the Universal Championship? And he was fighting a certain man who...
For underrated, look up Rock and Roll Express versus the Briscoes. Dream match for tag teams anyways.
I haven't seen the match yet. Maybe you're right about that. Thanks, Valhalla Erickson. Okay. So, Royal Rumble. Brock Lesnar defending the championship against a certain guy who never lost a belt. And we were all assuming, oh my goodness, we're actually doing this match. He has to bring him out. He has to bring him out. And he didn't bring him out. If you had no idea what I'm talking about, where the hell have you been? And why are you watching this channel? I'm joking. Number 20 on my list is Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. Once again, good match. Really good match. Perhaps one of the best matches of the night, honestly. It wasn't a really good show at all. I didn't think the show was all that good to begin with. It was kind of disappointing. And the fact that this was the best match on the show really hurts. It was just a good match. But the problem is, when you look at it storyline-wise, it's freaking stupid. Finn Balor lost the championship in 2016 due to injury. He had to vacate it. He never lost it clean. Doesn't get a single opportunity until the Royal Rumble. You would think he would throw down all his cards. He would put it all out. I want to give the Beast my best. This is the perfect time to bring in the Demon. Undefeated on the main roster, but undefeated. And he doesn't do it. No explanation why. The dumbest thing I've ever heard. Oh, WWE, we don't want to make the Demon look bad. So why is he fighting Brock Lesnar then? You might as well just go with Braun Strowman. Might as well. I just think that's stupid. It made Finn Balor look like an idiot. He looks like an idiot. Oh, well, the Demon appeared at WrestleMania. Oh, so you'll pull the Demon out for the Intercontinental Championship, but not the Universal title? What is wrong with Finn Balor? It just makes everybody look so goddamn stupid. Does anybody understand that when people like me watch wrestling, I get that we have to suspend our disbelief, but it still has to, in some way, shape, or form, make sense. If I am a man that has the power of the Demon at my disposal, I can pull it out at any point in time, and I'm getting ready to get an opportunity at a championship that I never lost. Why would I never use that? We could have had an even better match than what we got. Instead of getting the Demon versus the Beast, which is what we should have gotten, we just got a good match out of Finn Balor versus Brock Lesnar. Congratulations, WWE. You screwed yourself. Oh, but the next man, we can still get it again. The bloom is off the rose. Especially since Lesnar's not even the champion anymore. The bloom is definitely off the rose. That's so damn stupid. I don't even know why they booked it like that. Whatever. That's number 19. Number 18 on my list. I'm not gonna waste your time with this one. I'm just gonna say it. Number 18 is Pete Dunne versus Walter. Walter! Not Walter, but Walter! When the match was first announced, I thought to myself, yeah, this is gonna be a classic. I've seen Walter work in a PWG ring. I know that this is a monster when he needs to be, when he wants to be. And instead of doing what I thought they were gonna do, which was have Walter absolutely obliterate Pete Dunne, and Pete Dunne gets some offense, but to no avail, couldn't win. No, we had a competitive back and forth match that went 30 minutes. And once again, good match. Wasn't a bad match. Wasn't the match we wanted. Wasn't the match that I wanted. And I remember the casual viewer and the only Florence sitting next to me, and they were bored to tears. We gotta understand something, guys. We hardcore fans, we appreciate matches like this. We can get behind matches like this. This, you know, it's not like we spent, 2000... I'm going to say about 2009 to about 2013? Yeah, that's a good time frame. It's not like we spent that many years barren of good matches. Because we did. So, anytime we get a good match, we appreciate it. It's just now we're getting amazing matches from everywhere. Everywhere. Shoot, main rosters. WWE main rosters giving us good matches. We get a lot on NXT. We get a lot on Impact Wrestling. We get it on Red Pro. We get it on PWG. We get it on Lucha Underground. We get it on New Japan Pro Wrestling. And now we're getting it on AEW. So, we have an abundance of good matches now. Just being a good match isn't going to cut it. You need to stand out. And these guys just had part of the course. Good match. Didn't really make me go, it sucked. But it didn't make me go, oh my goodness, that was amazing. It was just a good match. So there you go. Next up, number 17. Speaking of Demon Finn Balor, there was another match he had. It was a certain phenomenal one back at TLC 2017. And when it was all said and done, I think we were all pleased with it. But there was a side of me that felt we could have gotten something much better. That match, AJ Styles versus Finn Balor, or The Demon Finn Balor, is my number 17 on this list. Now, again, I don't necessarily think this was a disappointment. I just kind of feel like the way it was set up, and thank God it was set up this way, initially it was going to be Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt and oh my goodness, some kind of trick-or-treat match. God help us all. It was going to be Sister Abigail versus the Demon Finn Balor. Yeah. And luckily Bray Wyatt got hurt, because that saved us from suffering that misery. Unfortunately, it came at the expense of his injury, but it is what it is. We got this match in its place. No hype, no build-up. Here. I feel like a match like this, which first off, WrestleMania quality match, deserved to have a much better build-up to its hype, instead of, well, we kind of got nothing going on. We kind of need someone to fill a spot. So here, AJ, you fight Finn Balor. And that sucks. Because they had a great match. Now, imagine having this match with legitimate heat. Let's say, I'm just going to make a story here. Finn Balor is going through this struggle with the demon. And he's fighting the urge to be a normal person. But every once in a while, he loses his temper. And he starts to go back and forth with the demon. The demon takes over. He gets violent. He gets vicious. He gets sadistic. He starts losing his mind, attacking random people, foaming at the mouth. He's a monster. And it's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. He snaps out of it. Oh my God, what have I done? And then he comes across AJ Styles. And, AJ, because they're brothers, Too Sweet Me, Bullet Club, shows him some sympathy. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. But Finn Balor eventually loses himself to the demon. And now AJ has to save him from himself. Boom! WrestleMania match! We could have had that. But no. We got this instead. So the next time we actually do that, which can still happen, will be a great match to see. But it won't be a dream match because it already happened. Once again, the bloom is off the rose. But I guess you can say, would you rather we get this match? Or would you rather we get Sister Abigail versus the Demon Finn Balor. I suppose this match will do. Moving on to the next match. Number 16 on my list. I was sorely disappointed that this was not, and I repeat, this was not a match at WrestleMania 35. And honestly, I still can't believe they didn't put this match on the card. Both of them were involved. Both these tag teams were involved in things that meant nothing. Absolutely freaking nothing. And instead of doing it at WrestleMania, we'll do it on Smackdown. Number 16 on my list is the Usos versus the Hardy Boys for the Smackdown Tag Team titles. What were they thinking? And you know something? I want to give a shout out to everybody who got Usos versus Hardys WrestleMania 35 hashtag trending. We started that as a joke. I was doing a video about it, a live stream on it, and I said, you know what, screw it. What could happen? And it actually got over. Usos versus Hardys WM35 actually trended. Matt Hardy saw it, actually responded to me about it, did a video on it. We actually got this noticed by WWE. If we had not got that trending, this match would not have happened. So, congratulations to all of you. Thank you so much. Because it was you. It was me. It was the WWE fans that made this a reality. And the match was great. It was a great match. I just wish it was at WrestleMania. And not just sloppy seconds, because think about the feud these guys could have had. Think about it. And unfortunately, Jeff Hardy did get injured after that, and that also sucks, but still. Think about what could have been. First match happened at WrestleMania. Great match, awesome crowd. Rematch. Ladder match. Holy crap. Again, Jeff Hardy got injured. I know, but still. I just don't understand the logic of Vince McMahon and the creative team whatsoever. This is a dream match. This legitimately could have been one of those tag team WrestleMania classics if you would have given it the time and the build that it deserved. But now we gotta put the Hardys and the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, and then the Usos were in what was it, like a triple threat tag match? Stupid. So that's number 16 on my list. I guess I should be thankful. I should be thankful that at the very least it happened, right? That we got it to happen. Hashtag Usos versus Hardys WM35. But still. That sucks. So, let's take a break. Let me turn on my phone. And let me give some shout outs. Because I do want to let you guys know I see you. So we're going to go ahead and do a roll call. So while this phone is coming up, I want to give you guys a story. Those of you who don't know what's happening about the YouTube situation, let me tell you how I got my channel back, or I got live streams back on YouTube. So, copyright strike came as a result of the Dean Ambrose versus Dean Ambrose podcast with Chris Jericho. Talk is Jericho. It is what it is. Got a strike for it. I knew by doing that it would get me a strike. It wasn't given to me by Chris Jericho. It was given to me by a different company. And, you know, I was disappointed because I was like, dang, that video had like 50,000 views. I was getting new subscribers. I felt like my channel was finally on the upward trajectory. And so I was very scared. I'm thinking, God damn it. I gotta wait, 6 months now? I have to wait 6 freaking months. Well, I think it was 3 months. Yeah, 3 months, just to give you a number. Until I can go live streams again. That's why I did Twitch. So, I decided to contact the guys who gave me the strike. And, you know, come to find out, they watched my videos because they were wondering, like, okay, let me check this guy out. If we're going to retract the strike, let's see who we're retracting it for. So, they watched my content. And without revealing their names, they become fans. They actually sent me a message. And I'm going to read it to you. I'm going to read you the message that he sent me. On the YouTube email. Well, actually, it's from Yahoo, but this is what the message says. And I quote from Anonymous, because I was told not to say his name, but here's what he said. I'll tell you what got me to recommend retracting the strike. I viewed your channel before I decided and was impressed. You're a very talented young man, and this video won me over. Why I emulate Chris Jericho. Some of you don't remember that video, but I do. I passed it on when I made the recommendation, though frankly, I don't know if it was viewed by anybody, or just, they just took my recommendation. I'd also like to compliment, I love this, I would also like to compliment you on your comments to views ratio on the above video. It's outstanding. Comments to views ratio, which was basically the Dean Ambrose 50,000 views. I think it was like 50,000, and then comments were like about 400, 300. He says it's better than average. He says I was doing pretty well. He says keep up the good work. We feel like you can be someone big. Again, not gonna say his name. I can't. But thank you. That is what happened, ladies and gentlemen. So what does this tell us? The lesson that we learned today? Quality always wins. Quality always wins, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry about the money. The money will always come. The money will come. The money will come when quality is there. Focus on quality first. Give us a quality product, and the money will fall in place. That is basically the advice I would give my audience if I was, asked to do it. But yeah, guys. Thank you guys for still supporting me. Let's see what we got here. All right. Here we go. Let's do roll call. We got Joseph Winters, Elias Ademi, Adam Phillip, NK, Notorious MMA 16, 4D TV, E-Rock or E-Rich? Or is it Eric? I'm going to go with Eric. Eric in. Brendan Kambambia. Oh, he was in here. Ultra Shadow. He was also in here. I got your names right. 46614 Abel. Let's see here. Sleeve Chick. Okay, Sleeve Chick. We got a female in here. What's up? I'm pretty sure she's giving y'all a hard time. I'm pretty sure they're giving you a hard time, Sleeve Chick. Johan. What's up, Johan? El Goku Dark. What's up, El Goku Dark? Let's see here. Avengers Fan 167. Aaron Thomas. T.Y. William. Luna Carva. The Champ. X Styles. 98% of the time. Corey Payne. Got some regulars in here. Good to see you all, man. Good to see you all. Hub City Finest. That's an interesting name. Pikachu Black. Let's see. Let's see here. Oh yeah, Mr. Krabs. Let's see here. Gemini Valdez. Ernest. Sniper Wolf. And one more. I can't be here all day. Brian Ketchum from Houston, Texas. All right. Got the roll call out the way. Just wanted to say thank you guys for tuning in. Show the video some love. Like the video. Share it with your friends. And don't forget to share with me, ladies and gentlemen, your most satisfying and disappointing dream match of all time. Back to the list. We're now entering the top 15. So, number 15 on my list comes from WrestleMania. No, it doesn't. I lied. This is not the WrestleMania match. That's later. This one comes from Raw, January 29, 2018. And it's a female match. It's a women's wrestling match. And I thought it was every bit as amazing as I thought it would be. And I'm happy we got a chance to watch it. Ladies and gentlemen, number 15 on my list is The Boss versus the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka versus Sasha Banks. Their match on Raw, January 29th. I think it was 29th. I thought it was a fantastic match. I thought both of them showcased, once again, why women's wrestling can be just as good as the men. It's two of the best performers in the business doing their thing. And I just feel bad that both of them just kind of fell into obscurity after this. Asuka lost her undefeated streak. Sasha went into a feud with Bayley that was just chaotic. They're fighting each other, then they're a tag team, then they're fighting each other, and then they're a tag team, then they're fighting each other, and then they're a tag team, and then they're fighting each other, and then they're a tag team, and then with the tag team titles, and then Sasha Banks leaves. And now Asuka is kind of going through the same crap routine now. At least she won the women's title and then lost it. But it was an amazing match. I thought these two tore it up. I remember Sasha Banks taking a suicide dive and almost killing herself after Asuka kicked her midway through the suicide dive. She basically fumbled in the ropes and hit her head on the freaking ring apron, the side of the ring. I thought she killed herself. I'm thinking she's done. Because I thought for sure, oh, she's knocked out. It was one of the most horrific things I've ever seen. It looked nasty. But, yep, it was still an amazing match. A testament to female wrestling in 2018 and so on and so forth. Number 14 comes from NXT. Most of the matches from NXT are in the top 15, as you guys would imagine. This one I felt was absolutely delicious to watch. It involves the Velveteen Dream taking on one of the greatest high flyers in wrestling today. From Takeover Chicago 2, Velveteen Dream taking on Ricochet. First off, love the entrance. We gotta talk about the Hulkamania entrance. Brother. When Velveteen Dream walked out there with the Hulkamania outfit, I was done. I was dead. That was amazing. I think from that night forward, everyone was just looking forward to his entrances. Looking forward to his matches for the entrances. Because, come on, man. How you just gonna come out with Hulk Hogan and then steal the show that way? He didn't steal the show. Still, hell of a match. The story of the match was, whatever you can do, I can do better. Although there were a couple of sloppy moments where Velveteen tried to outdo Ricochet and didn't quite make it work, I was very pleased with the way this match turned out. Velveteen Dream got the victory, as he should have. I felt Ricochet, didn't really need the victory, and he would go on to be North American champ and do a pretty decent job with that belt. So I'm very, very happy with the way this match turned out. And I think some of you can agree that this was quite the surprise, if you know what I mean. So yeah, absolutely love the match. And then we go on to number 13. Number 13, well, let's just say this match was quite the savior for a lot of people. So back in 2017, there was a certain reign by a certain Maharaja that was killing the ratings on Smackdown to the point that nobody was showing up to the shows, right? And they were actually going to do a main event involving him versus Brock Lesnar. And WWE came to their senses and said, yeah, let's not do that. And at the very last second decided, okay, how about we put the belt on someone that's worthy. A phenomenal one. And so that phenomenal one wins the belt and then goes on to fight the Beast at Survivor Series. And that, my friends, is number 13 on my list. AJ Styles versus Brock Lesnar from Survivor Series 2017. This match was amazing. This match was everything you could ask for. I was very pleased with what we got. I personally believe, and this is just my personal opinion, outside of CM Punk, some of Brock Lesnar's best matches have been with the smaller guys. You know, CM Punk. Well, wait a second. Let me try that statement again. I think I mixed that up. Outside of John Cena, I did think, despite Cena winning, I did really enjoy their match at Extreme Rules. Most of Brock Lesnar's matches have been with the smaller guys. I dare say with the indie guys. His best matches, CM Punk, yeah, awesome freaking match, classic at SummerSlam. AJ Styles, awesome match. And then another match is on this list by an indie wrestler. This match was amazing. Now, people were a little worried about it because, you know, Brock Lesnar dominated the match for a good portion of it, and AJ Styles so like a freaking boss. He made him look like a monster. And then, of course, AJ Styles started to come back, and it did get to a point where we were like, oh my god, oh my goodness, he is actually going to win. Like, I was like, he might actually beat Brock Lesnar. Oh my god. I was on the edge of my seat. They had me on the edge of my freaking seat. And I was very pleased with the way it turned out. And I am proud to say it happened here in Houston, Texas, because that's what happens. Amazing matches happen in Houston, Texas. So, amazing match. Brock Lesnar won, but I thought the match was awesome. I loved it. I'm so happy that it wasn't Jinder Mahal versus Brock Lesnar. And the thing is, imagine if we did this match with hype. Imagine if we actually had AJ Styles hold that belt for a while, and then he fights Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series. This would have been an even better match with the right kind of hype. But it didn't really get that hype because it was a last-minute decision to save Survivor Series, which I'm glad they did. However, still an amazing match. Not in my top 10, but still an amazing match. Just like the next match Brock Lesnar would have at the next Survivor Series, which is number 12 on my list. He would go on to fight another WWE champion in Daniel Bryan, who at this point in time was going through a heel turn. And what made me love this match even more, besides the fact that I have been waiting for over 3 years to see it, wanted to see it at WrestleMania 31? Was that 2015? Yeah, WrestleMania 31. Didn't get it. So we got it here at Survivor Series. And it was freaking awesome. Same story told. Brock Lesnar dominates. And then Daniel Bryan made a strong comeback. But see, I was actually on the belief that he was going to beat Brock Lesnar even more than AJ. Because the way Bryan beat AJ was, you know, low-blowed him and took the championship away from him. I thought for sure. I was like, yeah, he's about to do the same thing. He's about to do the exact same thing to Brock Lesnar. And I want to see that. I was just like, come on, bro. That would have been awesome. Imagine if Bryan actually beat Brock Lesnar with the exact same methods that he used to beat AJ Styles. With a kick to the bowels. But that's not what we got, though. I personally love this match. I felt the dynamic was a little off because Bryan just turned heel, so I'm not going to give it a too high score. However, man, let's keep this. Let me remind you of how special this match is to me. Just a year ago, guys, Bryan wasn't cleared to wrestle. We forget about this, but he was retired. Daniel Bryan was retired. He was done. He was never going to wrestle again. Not only did he get cleared, not only did he come back, But he won the WWE Championship, and now he's fighting Brock Lesnar. And the match we got was freaking awesome. I thought this lived up to the hype. Well, very much so. I feel like it could have been even better with, once again, the right story and the right dynamic. Daniel Bryan was a heel, so we couldn't quite get the underdog versus Goliath, kind of story. The David versus Goliath kind of story that I felt would have worked, but still, loved it. I personally would have had Bryan beat Brock Lesnar, but I'm biased. That's just what it is. Now, moving on to number 11. We're closely moving to the top 10. This one suffers from WWE's usual 50-50 booking, or as you would say, oversaturation of the product. But the matches we got from them, fabulous. Rey Mysterio versus Andrade Cien Almas. I gotta say, this took me back. I remember when I was younger, I was like 8, and I would turn on WCW to watch Monday Night Nitro. And, you get the cruiserweights in there. You get the Rey Mysterios, you get the Dean Malenkos, you get the Eddie Guerreros, you get the Chris Jerichos, you get the Chavo Guerreros, you get the Psychosis, you get all of them. The Ultimo Dragons. Those were some of the best parts of the show, man. I still go back and watch those matches. I still go back and watch those Rey Mysterio matches from back in the day. Favorite match from the Cruiserweight division, Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio, Halloween Havoc. You can't top it. You can't top it. Classic. This match reminded me of all those old school Cruiserweight matches. I love their matches. I love the matches Andrade and Rey had. It's just a shame that instead of building up to it for a pay-per-view or, for a freaking WrestleMania, instead, we give the match away for free, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And I think at one point they were going to give it away on a pre-show. You could have at least done it one time and then done it again for a championship. Didn't even get a championship on these guys. I don't understand it. I don't get WWE sometimes, man. Their logic hurts my head. It hurts my head. And what's happening on Andrade? Has he even been on SmackDown? Since we have the wild card rule, we can go back to this. We can do Andrade versus Rey again, but I'm sorry, I forgot. Rey's hurt now. Thanks for that. Idiots. But whatever. Looking forward to the match returning. But when I first saw the match, the first match they had, I think it was January 6th? January 6th, right? Yeah, January 6th. Amazing. And I'm sitting here going, why are y'all giving this away for free? I would easily pay money to see that. I guess I already am paying money because it's, network. But still, you could have built a show around this match. People are just stupid. There's too much content to fill nowadays. But again, you have all these people you have all these talent on your roster. And
could have been a best of 7 series.
Could have been, Bradley. Could have done something with that. And at the end of the day, what did the matches lead to? Nothing. Amazing matches. But in a vacuum, that's just all it is. It's amazing in a vacuum. It's just disappointing, man. I don't know. I just kind of feel like we could have gotten a lot more out of this. Alright, moving on to number 10. We've entered the top 10. Top 10 dream matches that satisfied me. First one, by the way, every match above is A and A+. This is fantastic, outstanding classics now. The first match is an NXT match. Shocker. And I gotta be honest with you. Didn't happen on a takeover. It actually happened on NXT TV. NXT July 25th, to be exact. For the NXT Championship. We got the Dutch Destroyer versus the Stain, the Blackheart, the evil spirit of NXT himself. Tommaso Ciampa versus Aleister Black. I love this match. Didn't like their rematch as much. Their rematch at NXT TakeOver Phoenix was alright. It was alright. It was decent. But this match? Oh, it was amazing. Oh, it was fantastic. Oh, this was the kind of fast-paced, high energy, high adrenaline match that I wanted to see from these guys. They hit hard. They sold like freaking gangbusters for each other. It had the drama of Johnny Gargano going in there and costing Aleister Black the championship. It was a perfect way to get the belt. A perfect way to get the belt off of Aleister Black and set up Tommaso Ciampa as the heel. The biggest villain in all of wrestling. Because Gargano spent his entire career trying to put an end to the dark cloud that is Tommaso Ciampa, and he helped that man become NXT champion. What a freaking story. You had a story behind it, you had an awesome match behind it, and you had great action. What else could you ask for? It's one of those things that just made me go, this is why NXT is just the best brand in wrestling. I swear to God, 2018 was the best year for NXT. I stand by that. Stand by it. It was a dream match for me. See, a lot of you are just like, this was a dream match? Yeah. Tommaso Ciampa versus Tommy End. I wanted to see that match. As a matter of fact, it was on my list. If you go back to 2018, when I did my top matches of 2018, this was on my list. Tommaso Ciampa versus Aleister Black, and I got it. And I'm happy I did. So, take it for what it is. I freaking love this match. That's for sure. Amazing, fantastic, outstanding match with a great story behind it. Number 9 is a main roster match. I felt like when it came to WrestleMania 34, the women stole the show. I will happily stand by that statement. I said Asuka versus Charlotte, and then Ronda's match with Triple H, Stephanie, and Kurt Angle were the best matches of the night. And in this case, I thought Asuka and Charlotte had match of the night. Still stand by that. Well, some of y'all might say Ronda had match of the night, but I feel like Asuka and Charlotte did. And I was looking forward to this match for a good year before it happened. And I'm happy it happened at WrestleMania. And it is number 9 on my list. Asuka versus Charlotte. Yes, I know. The streak ended. I know a lot of you are just like, why did y'all end the streak? That is the only blemish when it comes to this match. Quite frankly, I still kind of wish Asuka would have won. I wish Asuka would have beaten Charlotte. But regardless of Asuka beating Charlotte or not, I thought the match was everything I could ask for. The match delivered on so many levels. I feel, for the most part, these two went out there and tore it up. The in-ring performances were smooth. The counters were awesome. They did some innovative spots. I thought Charlotte was on her game. I thought Asuka was on her game. I thought the match was just fantastic. The results sucked. But overall, I mean, I'm still talking about it to this day. I don't like that Asuka lost. I hate that the streak ended. The more as time goes by, I thought it was a mistake. But I personally thought the match was outstanding. So there you go. That's number 9 on my list. Number 8 on my list, I believe, is another main roster match. It is another main roster match. So, one of the matches we wanted to see Daniel Bryan have when he came out of retirement was his match against AJ Styles. So, the first match they had, I believe, was on a Smackdown, right? And I forgot the date of it. That match, if I'm not mistaken, went to a no contest because I think Nakamura interfered. So I'm not going to count that match because that's one of those matches that's just like, The match that I felt, because these two had, like, how many matches did these two have? They had the match when Bryan returned. Then they had that match for the championship where Bryan turned heel. And then the TLC match and the Royal Rumble match. I feel like I'm missing a match. Which match am I missing? I'm pretty sure they had another match. Right? Okay. Whenever that match was. I think that was also like on a SmackDown somewhere. But the match I'm talking about was their match on November 13th for the championship. That match where Bryan turned heel on AJ Styles, oh, that was a freaking awesome match. That match was awesome. I thought the way Bryan turned on AJ, low blowed him, and took his title. Oh, loved it. And then their TLC match I thought was just as good. The one at Royal Rumble, that one was not good. That was underwhelming. I forgot what other match did they have. I know they had a different match. But regardless, I actually loved their November 13th match, and their TLC match again just as good. And I'm very happy to have it on my list. I thought I lived up to it for the most part. Apparently, it was the SmackDown before Crown Jewel. Oh, that's what I'm thinking about. Right! Because before Crown Jewel, Bryan lost to AJ, then he had the rematch. All right, thank you for that. I appreciate that. But yeah, very, very good stuff. Next is number 7 on my list. Number 7 on my list. Oh, I can even pull up a picture. Sorry. There's a picture of AJ Styles getting punted in the nuts by Daniel Bryan. Now, how many times has AJ been punted in the nuts? He needs to be wearing a cup. Number 7 is a female wrestling match. One of the matches that I wanted Ronda Rousey to have was actually the match I thought we were getting at WrestleMania this year. That was Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair. We didn't get it at WrestleMania, but we got it at Survivor Series. Survivor Series 2018, and it was outstanding. I thought these two worked excellently with each other. It was smooth, it was fast-paced. There wasn't a single issue with the match. I even love how it ended, with Charlotte snapping on Ronda and setting up their rematch at WrestleMania. I thought this was an excellent outing for both women. And it was one of those matches that made me go, see, we can say what we want about Ronda Rousey and her microphone skills, because even though she's gotten better nowadays, it's still pretty... There's a lot to be desired. How about that? Who she is inside the ring is a totally different story. She is phenomenal as an in-ring competitor. Absolutely phenomenal. And her match with Charlotte was an awesome match. I thought those two tore it up. For real. I absolutely absolutely adored what they did at Survivor Series. And I'm happy that they did the mini heel turn for Charlotte, which would later lead to a legit heel turn for her. It was a slow burn, but she would eventually turn heel, and that would lead to their triple threat match at WrestleMania, which, it was solid. I just wish, things were a little bit more cleaner with the finish, and the match wasn't the last match out of 8 hours of WrestleMania. Probably would have liked it more, but whatever. Amazing match. And honestly, I kind of miss Ronda. Just saying. Number 6. NXT. NXT TakeOver to be exact. So when Velveteen Dream came around, and I said this was a match I had back in my 2017 list, and I said this then. What an excellent opponent for Velveteen Dream than Prince Gorgeous, Prince Pretty. Because they're practically mirror images of each other. They are practically mirror images of each other. And I said to myself, that would be the ultimate character match. We finally got it at TakeOver 25. Velveteen Dream versus Tyler Breeze. I loved this match. I thought it was out freaking standing. You can't ask for more when it comes to this match. This was awesome. This was easily Tyler Breeze's best match in a long time. In years. The last amazing match, fantastic match he had was that Fatal 4-Way back in 2014 at NXT Fatal 4-Way. That can't be right. Holy crap, it is. How sad is that? That he hasn't had a fantastic match since then. Oh my goodness. That sucks, man. But yeah, shit. Velveteen Dream versus Tyler Breeze lived up to the hype. It was his best match in a long time. I personally love this match. They did everything that I wanted them to do. Velveteen Dream still in the camera, taking a photo with it. Tyler Breeze, doing his whole shtick. Old Prince Pretty coming out with the glitter and, showing off with his, the way he sat on the ropes, the counters, the offense, the fast pace, the drama. And then at the end, when Velveteen Dream wins, they take a picture. They take a selfie. Man, that's beautiful. I loved it. It gave me everything I wanted. I thought it was an amazing match. So there you go. That's number 6 on my list. Number 5. I think the rest of these matches are classics, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, not this one. The matches after this are classics. So number 5 on my list, I'm just going to say it. I don't need to build up this match. I'm going to just say it, and you're going to go, yeah, absolutely. Pac, a.k.a. Neville, versus Will Ospreay. High stakes 2019. I think we all agreed that the moment Neville left WWE, we wanted his first opponent to be against who? Freaking Will Ospreay. Freaking Will Ospreay. And we told ourselves that the moment that match happened, we were going to go see it. And I said, I don't care if I have to pay to see it. And by the way, did I buy a pay-per-view? I think I did. I'm not going to tell you for sure if I did or not. I just had to, rely on my memory and just go off of that. But I saw the match. And I thought it was amazing. I thought it was awesome. It had everything you could want in it. It had the flips, it had the counters, it had the high flying. They matched each other beat for beat. It was never boring. The only issue I had with the match is that it ended in a disqualification. That's the only issue I had with it. I just kind of wish, damn, when you have a match like that, you want to give a clean, decisive finish. No, Neville, gets himself disqualified because he's champion and champions don't lose. He's doing that thing where you're champion, the champion doesn't lose because he's the champion, and so when he loses the championship, so he can't lose a match until then. Or lose a match clean, if you will. But that was my only issue with the match. It ended in DQ. I was like, come on, bro. Come on, man. That hurts. I don't know. I just feel like when you have a match like this, we need a decisive winner. It's still an outstanding match. I mean, I recommend you guys go watch it. Just be aware that it ends in a DQ, and that might disappoint some of you. But for me, I thought it was amazing in terms of the in-ring action. All right, we get to the classic. So these are the matches. These next few matches are the matches that blew my brain. It was one of those things where it was like, okay, I've been waiting so long to see this match, and when I got it, it was better than sex. Well, almost better than sex, but close to it. The first one, the first classic on my list comes from this year, believe it or not. Money in the Bank 2019. A match that I felt should have been a WrestleMania main event. Could still be a WrestleMania main event with the right kind of hype, with the right kind of story. Money in the Bank 2019's Universal Championship match. Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. Oh my goodness. I loved this match. Easily one of Money in the Bank's best matches. If I was to rank top 10 Money in the Bank matches right now, I know 2 matches that would be on that list. CM Punk versus John Cena from 2011, and then this match. This match would be on that list. These two reminded us why they are 2 of the best wrestlers in the game. And remember, AJ Styles is at that point of his career where he can't be doing too much, but he pulled out all the stops with Seth Rollins. And if I'm not mistaken, this is their first match together. This was their first match together, and they tore it up. Man, this match was everything you could want, man. And the fact that at the end they shook hands, I thought that was beautiful. I couldn't ask for more when it comes to this match. I freaking loved it. Definitely a classic. Definitely a match that I believe will stand the test of time, especially for WWE. And when you look at the crap we're getting nowadays, when you look at all the craziness going on, it's just, it's just one of those things where you appreciate what you get, man. The fact that we're still able to get a classic like AJ and Rollins, it makes me smile. That's really, really cool. So there you go. AJ Styles versus Seth Rollins is number 4 on my list. Classic. Number 3 on my list comes from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, why did we get a lot of New Japan Pro Wrestling matches? Well, let's be real. A lot of the New Japan Pro Wrestling matches that I want to see that are dream matches happen to involve certain WWE wrestlers fighting New Japan. Because I don't know a lot of the New Japan wrestlers all that much. So it's kind of hard to build a dream match. Except for one. It involves the Golden Lovers. Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega. And I said to myself, eventually those 2 have to fight for a championship. It didn't happen yet. It might happen one day. But I'm happy to say that when they had their match at G1 Climax, it gave me a hell of a climax, if you know what I mean. Sorry. Number 3 on my list is Kenny Omega versus Kota Ibushi, G1 Climax, Day 18. Yep. Day 18. Everything you can ask for. Everything you can ask for in a Kenny Omega match and a Kota Ibushi match. Hard-hitting, strong style. It was fabulous. You had the story of the, former lovers not wanting to hurt each other, but them having to do it. There was drama behind the punches. It was amazing. And even to this day, I wonder what would have happened. What could have happened if Kota Ibushi signed a contract and Kenny Omega decided to stay in New Japan? What would have happened? Probably could have got the main event. Well, we'll probably still get it one day. But in terms of the first match we got, freaking loved it. Golden Lovers fighting each other, tearing each other apart. You don't get any better than that. I love this match. Freaking loved it. Number 2. Number 2 on my list was a recent match that took place at AEW. It was the match we should have gotten at WrestleMania, but never got it because Vince McMahon and the Higher X said, oh, sorry, it's not good enough. But then they had it in Double or Nothing, and it showed the world. It showed the world that when the chips are down, not only could Cody pull out all the stops to make a classic, but Dustin Rhodes, even at his age, still had it. And once and for all showed WWE that this should have been at WrestleMania. A classic, the first classic for AEW. Cody Rhodes versus Dustin Rhodes at Double or Nothing. Hell freaking yeah. Give me a hell yeah in the live chat. Man, I've been waiting so long for this match. And man, wasn't amazing. But the Lex Man, they had a match already. Remember the match at Elimination Chamber 2015? What? No. That was Stardust versus Goldust. That one doesn't count. This is Cody versus Dustin. Okay. And this match was phenomenal. Oh, it was incredible. Oh, the way they beat the snot out of each other. I love seeing Brandy get involved. The blood pouring off of Goldust's head. Him bleeding profusely. It was straight up phenomenal. I just couldn't believe how good this match was. And even in the end, when Cody won, and then at the end, he said, "You're gonna be in a tag match. I don't need a partner. I don't need a friend. I need my brother." And they cry and they hug. Oh my goodness. Like, it got me, man. I felt something. This is what wrestling is about. You had Jim Ross getting in the match. Jim Ross, who, still a little rusty at commentating, came alive for this baby. This was a match for the ages. And if Dustin Rhodes wants to do a few more matches and then call it a day, he has nothing else to prove. Goldust, whatever you want to call him, he's a legend in the business, and he deserves to go into the Hall of Fame. So, absolutely. This was number 2. And then we get to number 1. I think you guys know what number 1 is. It's the only thing missing. It's a match that was 2 years in the making. They came in as a tag team. A random, thrown together tag team on NXT. Built a brotherhood. Had a couple of matches. A Cruiserweight Classic. And then decided to build a brand where they told us to do it yourself. Don't let people give you opportunities. Don't let people open doors for you. You do it yourself. DIY. These two men would go on to win the tag team titles. And then in an act of betrayal, one of them took the wrestling equivalent of a bullet to the face, which is a ladder. He took a ladder for him. And then, despite all that, he turned on his best friend. Would then go away for a year because of an injury. And his best friend would then try to go on by himself to have his moment. Got to NXT, Takeover Philadelphia, to fight Andrade Cien Almas. Fails. And then his best friend returns to be that dark cloud in his life. And then that best friend would then get him to put his career on the line and then cost him his career. To then have an unsanctioned fight at NXT TakeOver New Orleans, which to me, to this day, is the best NXT TakeOver pay-per-view ever, and quite frankly, one of the best shows I've ever seen. 2 years in the making, and it gave me everything I could want in a main event in a wrestling match. That, ladies and gentlemen, my number 1 pick is Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa, unsanctioned. It was everything you could desire in a wrestling match. I loved everything, every second, every move, every spot, every single freaking moment of this match was wrestling. This, ladies and gentlemen, was wrestling. Everything they did was storyline based. From the use of the crutch to Ciampa clapping and patting himself on the back to Gargano super kicking him to the end of the match where they're seeing each other inside the ring next to each other, mirroring what they did at the Cruiserweight Classic. They took every element of their story and threw it into this match. Even the injury, the crutch, the knee brace. Oh my goodness. Like what else could you ask for this match? What else could you ask? I thought this gave me all kinds of good vibes, man. If any wrestling match in the last 3 years made me feel like a wrestling fan, it was this match. This was everything I could want. And by the end of it, I was like, I just got done watching the greatest show, one of the best shows I've ever seen. And it was. To this day, even Dave Meltzer will agree, this is one of the highest rated wrestling shows he's ever had. Overall, it's one of the highest rated shows he's had. It's amazing. I freaking love this match. Been wanting to see it for over 2 years. I got it. Didn't disappoint me. And for that reason, it's number one on my list. Now, once again, you don't have to agree with my list. It's not the end all be all. I don't care how you feel personally. I just want to hear what you have to say. If you feel like this list is not what it should be, okay, what's your list? Give me your list. But once again, understand something, guys. I only am here to open the conversation. This is just to start a conversation. I want to know from you what matches, dream matches. It doesn't have to be in the last 3 years. It can be whenever. What dream matches in the history of wrestling have you gotten that satisfied you the most? Pick one that satisfied you and one that disappointed you the most. Let me hear it. But that's it for me, guys. I'm about to get out of here. Thank you guys for watching this podcast. Like the video, subscribe. Be sure to donate. Check out your boy the X-Man on Twitch. Give me a follow on Twitch for live reactions. And until then, I will see you next time right here in your boy the X-Man's World. You guys take it easy. I'm out. Peace out.